That's a sick jam.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
That's true, Steve. You want to get us into this first ad?
Yeah, this first ad.
From the used market of Craigslist, eBay, Reverb, or so on and so on?
Yeah, this is a kind of a combo here. Chris Carter sent one in. Rob Nordvik sent one in. Yeah, it's the Fireflies.
Firefly drama. Here we go.
There's a Firefly on Facebook Marketplace for $225. There's a Firefly 338 on Craigslist for $250. The FFR Junior was on Firefly Junior was on Amazon for $130.
Yeah, that's the new price on them.
What was your 338? How much was that?
Like 140.
140. Is that still the price on them?
I think so. So they're trying to mark this thing up $110. I'm assuming you got to ship it or something too, though. But this has been a common thing with this brand, like people, because they all sell out so fast.
Yeah.
That people try to flip them after the fact for more money, obviously, because it's a flip. But it's just kind of bonkers. I think they're fun guitars, the 338 anyways. No one should pay $225 for the single cut junior style thing. You just shouldn't. I honestly think it's debatable at 140. Like at 140, like you should be surprised if a guitar functions. But I mean, I didn't think it was a fun guitar. I don't think it's worth throwing your money at brand new at 140 or 130 or whatever it is.
People were going nuts over those new the semi-hollow Telecaster for like 130.
Yeah, I had the Telly and it was all right. I gave that one away to a kid, remember?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was all right. It wasn't fun, you know? Like I think if you're going to get a cheap guitar, it should be fun in some sort of way, and it wasn't fun for me.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about the single cut. But the 338 is fun. I think it is a fun guitar. So I think it is possible to have fun guitars at this price point. Now
this guy says his is upgraded. It's got Wilkinson tuners and a Tusk graphite nut.
That is for the 338.
The 338. But even then, right?
I feel like if you're buying a Firefly, you should be doing that stuff yourself.
Yeah.
And if you flip it, I think he's upcharging for the value of those things. If you're gonna sell the guitar, put the old stuff back on and sell it.
What's funny is, I don't feel like of the various things I've seen people complain about, I don't think the tuners is one of them.
They're kind of jumpy. They feel a little cheap, but it's not the first thing I would fix. I would get a new nut cut first. I would replace pickups first, and he didn't do that. I don't know. It just seems really like slimy to me that people are trying to flip these.
Yep,
because they're taking advantage of the fact that they sell out so quick. You know, I could have, instead of giving mine away to kids, I could have flipped them and made money.
Yeah,
but I didn't because I'm not a dickhead.
Because Ryan is an upstanding moral citizen.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said I'm not a dickhead. I think that's stupid. I don't think anyone should pay above Amazon prices for these because they're going to make more. Just wait.
Do you think this is better or worse
wait.
than people who buy a King of Tone, they get it, and then they immediately put it on Reverb at like $100 more? Just because they know the wait list is like 2 years long.
Well, I think it's worse because the wait list isn't 2 years long. I get someone being like, I need to have one of these things yesterday for like my recording thing, and whoever here in the studio is claiming that it would be the secret to whatever tone or whatever.
Right. So would practicing. Just saying.
No one. Yeah, you can really practice to nail an overdrive sound with your fingers.
I'm just saying, like, if you were better at guitar, you wouldn't need a pedal.
No one needs a Firefly yesterday. This is a brand you buy as a curiosity because they are so cheap and you want to have a project. Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. There's going to be more. They're going to make more. And if they stop making them, it's because they can't get the freaking frets straight on them.
I know, man. I really don't understand.
I wonder if this episode will get me kicked out of the other group.
Oh my gosh. I've been in that group for a while. It's been mostly chill. It's just really interesting. And one of the people who's like close to the brand basically did, for for like if you read through the lines, basically admitted that what's going on is, at least the way they made it sound, again, kind of reading between the lines, is that there is a investment firm of sorts, somebody, some company, probably that like JSN that's on all the boxes, that is owns the brand and just sends the specs out to like factories.
Oh, for sure.
And the factory just makes the guitars until they start making them wrong, and then they move on to another factory.
Right. No, that's totally how it works.
It's just like crazy to think about. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, someone was telling me about those. Man, I forget the name of the brand, but there's this brand of import guitars that are all like $70 or something stupid.
Oh, okay.
And they did some footwork and figured it out. I think it was Phil McKnight was telling me, or someone that he knows. They found out that it was a toy company that decided to get into guitar manufacturing.
Really?
Because they thought, oh, we can sell guitars at toy stores.
Is that like, is it glary?
Glary? It's glary.
Yeah.
And so they made like a run because they didn't know like what a normal amount of guitars to make is.
Yeah.
So they made a run of like 300,000 guitars or something
Whoa.
stupid. I'm just pulling that number out. It's a lot. They made a lot of guitars.
Yeah.
And then they like tested the product and they're like, oh yeah, this isn't really working out for us. So now they're just trying to clear warehouses.
Wow.
So they're not making new ones. It's going to be the same Glaries forever until they run out of them.
I know Phil, I watched him.
Well, I think he was telling me like a story that someone told him, like someone tracked it down.
I watched him review one of those the other day, and he said for like $70 or whatever, like it wasn't bad.
Well, I think that's the thing. Someone else was in the conversation. Damn, I forget who. And they were like, yeah, I got the bass and the bass is awesome, but then I got guitars and the guitars just were garbage. I think they're just like, oh, we made all these. They're, they're built to various different specs and different qualities.
Right.
But we just need to get rid of all
I
of
think
them.
everything is just like a crapshoot.
Yeah.
For the bass, I think I've heard better consistency with the basses. I also kind of think basses, because the string is so big.
Yeah, it's got that big long string. I've noticed that about basses.
I think it's kind of, I think basses are more forgiving. As like
and guitars really hold a grudge.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the tolerances don't have to be quite as tight.
Yeah, I think bass players are a little more like, if you have a high action on a bass, sometimes it's like, well, yeah, I like it that way. Like, I'm not playing fast.
Yeah.
You're playing like some like slow jam Motown stuff. Like, you don't really care.
If you're playing bass and you're getting a lot of action, I'm surprised.
Whoa.
Hey now, that's not true. But I think
Hey.
bassists do just fine, despite all the memes on the internet saying that bassists just have a cat instead of 14 girlfriends like the singer.
Bass is lift.
Bass is lift?
Bass is lift.
Bass is, oh, like life. Bass is life.
Bass is lift.
But you're pronouncing it lift for some reason.
Glenn has a shirt that says bass is lift. I was like, what's bass is lift? I'm like, I might be a bad musician, but I do know how to spell. And he was telling me, this is Glenn Fricker from, what's a SME? That's all I know.
Spectre Sound Studios.
But he was saying that that was like, he was like ragging on bass players in some video, and somebody just commented on the video, bass is lift.
Oh, there you go, an inside joke.
And then
you run with it.
Turned it into shirts.
Yeah. That's a good, that's a good
good
thing
joke.
to do with your,
great joke
with your audience, Bass is lift. I wasn't in on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
It was a personal conversation between me and Glenn.
Yeah, you and Glenn were having a regular old hangout over there.
Yeah,
When were you guys hanging out?
This is when you ran right past Glenn to go give Jen a hug.
Oh, I didn't even see him over there.
Yeah, he was just hanging out.
All right. Well, what are we on now?
We're on what's new, and I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah, you go. We're done. We're done with this Firefly thing. Like, freaking don't pay more money than you should for a Firefly. Just buy them new when they come out. Wait, and if they don't come out, if the one that you didn't that you wanted doesn't come out again, then don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. Like, get a different guitar. I promise you, it's gonna be okay.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you wear earplugs at NAMM?
I did not. I wore these headphones that did
Okay.
a decent job of protecting my ears.
So
Sometimes.
I got to NAMM. I told you guys before I would review this product after NAMM. This
Yeah.
is the Eros
And I would not try them
acoustic
again
filter.
because they were uncomfortable in my ear.
Not an earplug. It's an acoustic high
Right.
fidelity sound filter.
Right. You know the way that like an earplug like filters the sound from
Right.
going to your ear? It's not like that. They're not an earplug. It's a filter. It's a sound filter for your ears.
So the
It plugs, you put it into your ear and it plugs up the passage of vibrations and air into your ear.
And
then it filters it, but it's not, don't get it twisted. It's not
Yeah.
a plug. It's a filter.
oh my gosh. Well, I was gonna send this to them, but no, I don't know.
Oh, I ruined it for you, Steve.
But anyway, so the first day on the NAMM floor, I forgot these in my car, and I went and got some other earplugs, whatever,
Right.
from a competitor.
A competitor's earplugs.
One that everybody raves about.
Did they give you shivers?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
And I wore those for the first day. And
Did you have to pee after you used them?
Yes, to prevent getting a disease.
Yes.
And the second day, I remembered my Eros.
People who don't get the joke are like, what the hell?
Yeah, the second day I remembered my Eros, and I gotta say, like, I was really blown away at the difference. I actually thought these were a lot better. And I believe they're priced the same as these competitor ones. Like these are
For like $20?
It's like $40.
Oh, they're 40.
Yeah. These worked really great. I got them to fit in all the time. I know when we first got them, I put them in here in the room, and I was like, oh, it's just all the same. But on like the
Well, I
floor,
remember you saying later that you thought they worked perfectly because you couldn't hear me anymore.
oh my gosh,
You're like,
I
was having a great time,
I
Ryan.
was just pretending not to hear you. So in and I guess like that's kind of the point of the way it filters sound is it's gonna really cut down on background and like really like annoying frequencies, which again, surprisingly, that it does not get rid of your voice. But yeah, and this isn't just like a pitch, like we're not paid. They just sent these to us. But I really enjoyed these. Now, the one thing I will say that is my one big negative.
Here we go.
Is
Now we're really not going to be able to send them.
I know. I really liked the aesthetic choice on this, that they've got this like rose gold kind of stripe on the side of this thing. After one NAMM usage, that stripe is pretty much all gone.
Oh yeah, they're all worn off.
It's pretty worn out, but man,
You
like
might as well just scrape it off at this point, so it doesn't look relics. It looks intentional, you know.
whatever.
Yeah, who would have expected that foil to last forever, though? You know?
But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to last like a long time, but I was surprised like after a couple days. But for me, and I know again, you said that they weren't comfortable for you, but I wore these all day on the second day, and that was the day I really needed them because I was not feeling my best. And they were fantastic. I would definitely recommend these. They were super comfortable. If you're already used to using like a conventional like filter,
Sure.
for that, like that has like that kind of like the polyurethane or whatever silicone,
Yeah.
soft.
I
Again,
think these are the sort of thing where, like, if you were selling these at a music festival, it might be the first time like a music listener is introduced to this sort of earplug concept. Like,
Yeah.
the filtering like allows certain frequencies through, so you can actually hear,
yeah.
you know, the mix and whatnot. But as musicians, like, we've been pitched this kind of product for years. But that doesn't mean there can't be new brands, that there can't be more examples of it.
Well,
you know?
the other thing that I will say is I actually got a few compliments about these.
Oh my goodness!
Like people are like, "Oh,
Look at that.
those are fancy.
That's
Those
a
are cool." I
That's
was
a
like,
good look on you, Steve.
I was like, "Thanks."
Steve, you are looking so handsome with those I'd call them plugs, but I don't think they are. I think they're some kind of filter.
Yeah.
Steve, you are looking handsome with those filters in your ears. That's what people are saying to him.
Yeah. Anyway, go check them out. It's eros.com. I'll put a link.
Yeah.
Everyone likes a link.
Everyone likes a link.
What do you got, Ryan?
I came home from NAMM with the Eros Loop Studio by Singular Sound. They sponsored the podcast for a couple weeks, and then they sponsored my NAMM coverage. I'm slowly opening this. I'm letting it slide open. They did a demo of this for us that I filmed and have not edited yet, so I don't actually know what it sounds like. But this is a really impressive looking looper. The first time I saw it on Instagram,
You got Miles Teller to
Yeah.
demo this.
there's Steve's joke about actors. Go look him up, I guess. You'll get the joke. Here it is. I'm unboxing it right now. Has that freshly unboxed smell to it. I'll play around with this later, but it looks like a really impressive unit.
Yeah.
For actually like building little jams and stuff on the fly and doing some kind of like expanded technical stuff with a looper versus like what I've been used to, just a single button ditto looper.
Right.
Just hold it down to erase it and try again sort of thing. So I'm excited to mess around with this. I'm excited to have it be part of my demo rig because I haven't been doing loops in my demo rig ever since the ditto died on me. Every now and then I'll pull in the Canyon, which is the EHS delay because it has a looper part to it.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit clumsy compared to the ditto and compared to like a dedicated looper. So I'm hoping that maybe I can come up with some example loops that I use often in demos. Like I can store them in here.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, here's this loop I use all the time. I'm going to jam over it different.
Yeah, it's just going to be, you know, that riff that you do on.
Yeah, that riff.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Like I do that riff, you know?
Yeah.
You know how I'm always like, that old chestnut.
I heard that one today. I was listening to one of your tracks.
You listen to one of my tracks.
Listen to one of your demos.
My demonstrations. What if I started getting real snooty and be like, they're not demos, they're demonstrations.
No, you gotta not, instead of going with demo, you gotta
I
go
don't
with like
review, I demonstrate.
You don't go with demonstrate. You gotta go with like whatever a really highfalutin.
I've got to figure out the Latin for it.
Yeah.
I'm a demonstratio.
I'm not a. No, you said this isn't a demo. This is a presentation. You know, you're not the only one who brought something home from NAMM.
What?
I got this.
Oh my gosh.
Big bad boy over here.
People are sick of NAMM by now, and we just keep going and going and going. Is this a Pilgrim bag?
It kind of is.
I noticed the buckles.
This is I think this was the 2019 flagship product for music area cases.
He said with extreme confidence.
This is the Han Pro series. It's got a couple leather
Is the buckle
pouchy
just
things
for
here.
show, or is
No,
that?
it's like a real buckle.
That's how you secure it, is with the buckle?
Oh, you know what? I'm super dumb.
Oh, there is a zipper.
I'm really dumb.
Yeah, you don't need to use a buckle.
No,
but it
hold on.
extra secures it.
So I was complaining to Ryan earlier that I don't understand these buckles because it's a little.
That's why I brought them up.
There's a little clippy thing here to just release the buckle.
Oh, what?
That's cool.
So the buckle's all just for show.
Yeah, well, the buckle is like it's still functional. This part is for show unless you want to use it, because otherwise you can just. Anyway,
it's just a look. It's just a Pilgrim look. This is a Thanksgiving base case.
This is a semi-hard case. This is for a bass. I put my bass in here.
I am a 14-year-old right now.
A thing that I would have never thought of unless I saw someone do it is using this little flap in the front to lift.
Is that supposed to be a handle?
I guess.
Or is it like an air vent? Does air come out of there? Is that like
there's
the
no
jet?
air. There's another like spot in the back to grab it. Anyway,
I guess it makes sense.
I got this.
I was handling it earlier. I was kind of impressed with the construction. Like it does have like a plastic shell inside of it.
Yeah.
So it's not just a soft case. Like it is rigid.
Yeah.
That is a rigid case.
That's why it's semi-hard. It's also got like the backpack
and that's
straps.
why I'm semi-hard.
It's got the stealth backpack straps in the back.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
I mean, Music Area famously makes great cases. Last time we had a case from them, we were very impressed with it. You still have that case, so you have two of them now.
I've got two of them. This one's for my bass. I got one for guitar.
Yeah. I really like the one that we used for guitar that you have now. It looks like it's like a gun case. Like it looks really slick.
Yeah, this one's a little more traditional. I guess they're going to come out with some new stuff in 2020. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like
Music
when
Area.
it comes out.
They make cases that you can put stuff in.
And other stuff. Maybe.
If they listen to this, he's going to have to look up what pilgrims are.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Scony, that I made pilgrim jokes. Scony is the name of the guy.
Yeah, but go check him out. Music Area cases. If you're looking for I would say if you're in the market,
buckles are fine
for.
It's a good look. Like
a high end case, you've got a couple $100 to spend. Definitely go check them out.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
This is this series is a really they're really good looking.
It feels like something how sturdy it is. It feels like something like a cello should be inside. Not your freaking
Not
weird Yamaha bass.
Not the Yamaha I paid $80 for in Ocean Beach.
Right, that you had to gut and redo the electronics to be.
I didn't have to
be passive because
it was working.
The active board was fried or something.
No. The active board was fine. The treble section of that circuit board was missing. So it worked. It was.
You don't need any treble with a bass.
I know.
No trouble.
Whatever. Get that trouble out of here. You got anything else new?
No, I think that's everything.
All right. You want to talk about this week's album?
No, because I didn't listen to it, dude. Sorry, no album review. No album exchange this week, guys, because I forgot to listen to the albums, and then I made time to listen to the Steve's album last week, but there wasn't time left for me to listen to my album, which was apparently only 20 minutes long. I was going to do an MC5 album.
Yeah, MC5. Something Back in the USA.
Was it Back in the USA?
I think so.
I know it's one of the ones I've listened to the other one all the way through. I used to own it. I've never listened to this one all the way through, but I know a couple songs.
You know what Ryan told me? He said those people don't give enough money to Patreon for me to take the time to listen to
that's
two
right.
albums this week.
I'm not going to listen to a 20-minute album that I would actually enjoy because I actually already like that artist. I'm going to just sit on my butt and listen to nothing because we don't have new Patreons. Is that true? We don't have new Patreons?
Well, we don't because it's the second episode we're recording and we talked about them all last week.
That's true. We
probably
last
episode.
do have new Patreons by the time this airs.
All right. This week's sponsor is D'Addario. What are we talking about from D'Addario this week, Ryan?
Let's just keep talking about those XT strings.
Talking about those XT strings. Give me a guitar that's got XT strings. You're just pulling out packs of XT strings?
Packs here. What guitar? Got XT strings on those Jennings. I don't know if it's in tune right now, but those strings are going to be nice and slick for you.
It's in tune enough for me.
Oh, damn. Here we go. So not at all.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I saw a scratch on here. It was just a hair. Thank goodness. I couldn't bear to have a guitar with a scratch on the pickguard.
It's weird.
I mean, I still stand by what I've been saying. I probably did not tune that guitar at all. It's probably way out. I love picking up the guitars that have these strings on them. I've only been picking up guitars that had these strings on them. I need to put a set of them on this guitar that just showed up a few weeks back.
Yeah, those strings are a little burned.
I think I'm going to... Well, they came from... Oh, geez, Steve.
Was that a bad joke?
Yeah, he said that because it came from Australia. I think I'm going to put a set of 11s on there to beef it up a little bit. I want a little bit more heft on that guitar. But I just love these strings. I think I'm a fan now. If they come out with a new brand of strings, a new model of strings at D'Addario, I'm going to be like, no thanks.
Just send me those XTs.
I want to stay on the XTs, please. And I'm like, no, but these new strings, they play themselves. You'll never sound awful at playing again, Ryan. The new strings are new technology. They're holographic and they play themselves. You'll always sound so good and they read your mind. I'll say, no, thank you. I prefer the XTs. So
there you go. Go check them out. D'Addario.com. Well, I got to make sure you don't drop that.
Yeah, all right. When I was putting something away, that was a good opportunity for you to keep the show going.
I know. I was just watching you because it was such a long reach.
I've got long arms.
I know.
I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Steve, what's your favorite rat?
I was going to look. Oh, Rami Hunter asked this. My favorite rat is the Big Ear Pedals woodcutter. I own 3 rat style pedals. I own a classic Proco Rat 2 with the LM308.
I own one as well.
You do?
Yeah, because you said 2.
Oh my gosh.
No, I own a couple.
Oh yeah. You
rats.
You have the Keeley modded rat, right?
I have the Keeley modded rat. I have a broken rat that is around here somewhere.
Anyway, so I've got an old Rat 2. I've got the woodcutter from Big Ear Pedals, and I've got the 1981 DRV, which is a rat-inspired pedal. There's a lot of conversation about those. I feel like my 1981 DRV, is very different from my other rat-style pedals.
Yeah, it's a different pedal. So yeah, I've got the Keeley Mammoth modded one. Rest in peace, Mammoth. Mm-hmm. They're done now. I really like this guy. This is the one I keep around as my example of like, this is a rat. Right. It sounds like a rat. And then I've got this one that's broken. I should probably send it to Proco and have them fix it. I don't know why I keep it around. I bought it super cheap off of Craigslist.
Does it actually not work, or is it just missing the power supply? Like, have you tried to put a battery into it?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Been a while.
But one of my favorite rats is the Walrus Iron Horse. And this is the version 2. But it's not technically ratty because they swapped out the tone stack to be a more normal tone stack instead of like the super filtery thing. But that's what I like about it. I like that it's not like filter sounded with the tone stack. It's more of like a classic distortion tone stack, but you get that rat distortion with it. So
Right.
I don't know. That's my favorite rat. I do like the woodcutter too. I kind of wish I had a woodcutter.
Well, maybe you should get one. They're on sale.
Oh shoot! I'll buy 6 of them then.
Oh, shoot. Maybe you should.
I feel like I should do something creative with this broken rat.
Oh, like fix it?
Take this broken rat.
I bet the only thing that's wrong with it is that it needs the 9-volt jack replaced.
Yeah.
And the way the 9-volt jack looks, it looks like somebody like just didn't know what
They
they're doing.
snapped it off in there.
Probably just put it like you should put a battery on there and see if it works.
Yeah, you're probably right. But then I got to keep a battery in there.
No, you just see if it works, and if that works, and then you know all you need to do is replace the power.
Yeah, but then I got to take it apart and do work.
Oh my gosh!
Should I just give it to you?
It'll be a video. No, you should leave it here. I'll bring the family over sometime.
Well, the whole family will watch us fix it together.
We'll just it'll just be a soldering video.
I also hate that like the original rats have these big old dumb feet on it. It's super hard to put Velcro on it.
That is true. I actually,
and then it's got this huge nut on the bottom of the battery door.
On mine, I just put the Velcro on top of the feet, and it just goes burp,
and they're heavy.
Burp.
This is so much more convenient than this.
Yeah, I don't mind
the woodcutter too.
We talked about gear for gigs versus gear for the studio, and I feel like my Rat 2 is on the gear for the studio list.
Yeah,
not because it's super nice, but because they are heavy and awkward.
I thought I had one other Rat style pedal, but I guess I don't. Do I?
We're all just looking around now.
I don't see any. Oh, I had the LA Metal.
Oh, right.
And I traded it to Sean Pierce Johnson. That was a Rat style pedal.
What'd you get for it?
A B-Tronics fuzz.
Oh, okay, cool.
I traded him that and one other thing. I forget what the other thing was.
The Law Metal. Is it LA Metal or is it? I thought it was Law Metal.
This is a Llama Metal. No, it's the LA Metal.
Okay.
It has the periods in there.
That's like a real thing. Like I wasn't sure if it was LA Metal
Maybe
or
you're
Law
right.
Metal.
Maybe it is the Law Metal.
Is that the Ibanez one?
Yeah, it was an Ibanez.
Oh, I'm thinking of that gold pedal from is it Source Audio? Oh, maybe that's the LA Lady. I don't remember.
I don't know either, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I need to. No, it's LA Metal. It's got the periods.
Okay.
Wow,
This is super light.
Yeah, I mean, Walrus pedals are super light because they don't put a bunch of like heavy metal enclosures on there. It's just a regular pedal enclosure because those Procos weigh a freaking ton.
Yeah,
because they're built in like DI boxes.
Is this the Iron Horse 1 or Iron Horse 2?
That's the 2.
That's the 2.
Yeah,
I just
it's a monster of a distortion pedal.
It's funny because when I remember,
this better make me laugh.
I remember it's not that kind of funny. I remember like first coming up in like church music circles and people being like, oh, you want a tube screamer and like, oh, Klon and da.
Well, then screw you. That's what they said in church circles.
Like, oh, you don't even really want like a distortion because like, oh, it's like too heavy. Save that for your rock and roll bar gigs. And I was like, well, I had like different pedals, and then I had the Rat, and there are definitely songs where I was like, what are you guys like? One,
with a decent Rat, you can turn the gain all the way down and have a really nice kind of like driven preamp sound.
Right, which I've literally never used my Rat for that.
You should try it.
But
it's like a rockabilly secret.
Yeah,
a lot of rockabilly bands use Rats turned all the way down.
But I really just like it as like a normal like distortion for like slower songs.
Oh, sure.
Because with that filtery thing going on, they're really fun with like modulated verbs and delays and stuff.
And depending on what's going on in the guitar scene, they get rebranded back and forth between being a distortion and a fuzz because they kind of fill a gray area between the two. Like, yes, a distortion, like you could do tight chord and lead work with it, but it's also got that like wide frequency sort of thing going on that a fuzz does that plays really nice with like time-based and modulation pedals, where like you just throw a bunch of delay on top of it and you can do swells and just saturate your tone with it, and you're hitting a lot of frequencies at once, you know?
Well, one of the, at least in the video, like one of those, when you did that cheap fuzz shootout, like one of them I was listening to, I'm like, that's kind of got a rat thing going on. And that was the one where like everybody was like, that's not a fuzz, take it out of this video.
Maybe I should compare that to a rat.
Yeah.
I forget which one that was. Oh, the papai.
Was it that one?
Yeah, the papai.
Was that the cheapest one?
It was $17, and then it sold out.
And I liked it.
And then now they're on Amazon for $27, and people are like, "Oh, you tricked me! Now it's $27." I'm like, it was $17 when I bought it. I don't know what to tell you.
You should put yours on eBay for $100.
Oh my gosh, Firefly, that thing. I need to do more videos with those pedals, with those cheap boys, because they were fun. You have anything else? What's your dream rat, Steve? You have a dream rat?
I'm not like so into rats that I think that there's really like a dream rat. I think
Nocturne Brain made a rat, I think, that I remember wanting super bad. I forget what the model name was.
Is it the Ubangi?
Yeah, that might be it. Because it was built to have emphasis on those lower gain sounds. And I was like, that's what I want. That's what I like. All right, where's this next ad? You've got it pulled up. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, yeah. This is Jeff Coressel. This is a canceled check. Oh, he's the one who's selling it. You've been like...
He's selling it?
Yeah, this is not the post in the group. This is a screen grab of the ad.
And I put it as he's the person who did it.
Yep. So credit goes to whoever posted this.
Why can't I find it on my
I don't know
thing? But it is a signed check, signed by Leo Fender, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Well, it's signed CL Fender. Who's this C guy? Is his first name Clarence? Leo Fender?
I think so. Actually, is it Clarence?
I think I pulled that out of the ether, and I think it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because it sounds really, really correct. We're about to find out. We're about to ask Google. It's a race.
I did it. I typed it wrong. You win.
Clarence Leo.
Is it really
Fender? That came up. That came up as a
Clarence
thing.
Leonidas Fender.
Wow, Leonidas Fender.
Yeah,
it sounds grander.
The thing
I think we should start referring to him that way. Yeah, you remember the guitar that Clarence Leonidas Fender came up with?
Do you remember that guitar that Cleo Leonardi Fonder?
Yeah, that's right. I'm smart. I know his full name. Lionel Fender.
This is a CL Fender Fender Guitars signed canceled check. If you buy this check, you can forge Leo Fender's signature on any of your guitars. Turn your 1996 Fender Strat to a 1956 Strat overnight.
Oh my gosh. It's a check for $100. How much do they want for this thing?
$65.
Dude, that's a great deal.
You can make $35 just by cashing this check.
You think it's past 90 days?
I mean, there's also a paid stamp on it, but you know.
Oh, so it was paid.
Do you remember that, like back in the day when you would cash a check and then the bank would like mail your check back to you?
Remember when you used to have to go to the bank? How weird was that?
I still go to the bank. I got to get laundry money. I get it in the quadas.
And you don't get it from just the grocery store?
No, because anytime I go in there and I'm like, can I get $80 in quarters? They look at me cross-eyed.
I thought you guys had a washer dryer.
We have a dryer. Our washer is kind of dead.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, I think one of the struts started to fail, and so it's super off balance.
Here's all you do. You stand out in front of the Coinstar machine and just wait for someone to come up and be like, wait, I'll give you a better deal. Coinstar takes 8%. I'm only going to take 4%.
What would they do if you were like just standing out in front of the Coinstar and you're like, hey, how many quarters you got there? They're like,
hey, that looks like a lot of quarters. I could use a lot of quarters like that.
Is that a bag of quarters in your pocket, or do you just want to sell me a bag of quarters?
Hey, I just imagine that pitch and like it being totally legit, but like feeling so uneasy about it that you turn it down. That's what I would do. I would turn it down and be like, no, I'm just gonna do Coinstar. Like, no, dude, don't. You're throwing money away. I'm gonna give you half of.
Because
what they're charging.
you just assume, like if somebody did that, I would assume that there was some trick.
There's a scam, right?
Something's not right here.
So weird that someone would try to do that.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Listen, I just want quarters. I'm going to give you cash money for your quarters, but I'm going to take a smaller percent than the Coinstar would. And it's not going to be in Amazon bucks or whatever. I'm going to give you it's cash money here in my hand. You'd be like, no way. Those dollar bills are fake. You forged that.
Yeah.
This is a money laundering scheme.
Anyway, I mean, obviously you got to be a big Fender fan to go for this, but if you went to Kobe's and you saw this, how much would you offer?
Do you
for
think he actually signed it, or do you think like his secretary signed it for him? That's a tough one, right?
1968. I would assume he signed it.
I'm surprised he didn't have a stamp to sign it. You know, if he really signed it, if Leo Fender really signed this check,
I think this is a personal, personal check.
I think I'd pay $60 for this.
Who's Esther Fender? Like, this is a check to Esther Fender.
Is that Fender or Ferda? You think this check is for the boys?
This is a check that was that Leo wrote to his wife.
What? Here, honey. Here's some money.
Esther Fender is Leo Fender's wife, unless there's another Esther Fender.
That's crazy. I feel like I would pay $60 to have this, which is weird, right?
You should try to hunt this down. It's on Facebook Marketplace.
It would have to be right in front of me. What is this guitar that's behind it?
It's a Fender Montera.
What is a Fender Montera?
It's an acoustic.
Oh, that's why I don't know what it is. Boring.
I'm pretty sure that sure looks like an acoustic to me.
Well, the headstock. You're looking at a headstock there. You're not seeing
I'm
the
looking
rest
at
of the
that
guitar.
nut.
That is an acoustic nut. You're right. It's got that boring acoustic nut. No, you're right. That's got to be connected to an acoustic guitar. I wonder what the check was for. I wish he filled out the notes and was like, for spa day, or here you go. This is to go buy 16 years worth of groceries in 1968.
Oh my gosh.
Here's $100, honey. Go buy a house in Southern California.
Which you don't. What? It's probably was her cut of the CBS buyout.
I'm split 50-50.
Yikes.
When did he sell it to CBS?
Yeah, it was before this.
Was it really?
Like 66.
I didn't realize it was that early.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like 65.
It's kind of amazing that checks kind of look the same still.
Yeah.
Like if someone handed me that check today, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is a check that will work. Like the font on the numbers is still the same and everything.
It's just paper. There's not really any reason to change it.
But I'm saying like the presentation is the same, like the same format.
Is there a reason that they use that font? Is it like
I think it like
can be read by basic digital machines?
Yeah, I think there's a machine that can read it. Or it's just like perfectly legible or something like that. It's probably just like a throwback to like futurism. And they were just like, oh, this is a futuristic font. Let's just use that. And now we just use it on checks no matter what because we assume it serves a function. But it was just them being like, oh, this is future technology, a piece of paper that represents money without being paper money.
When's the last time you wrote a check?
Probably once or twice a month.
Oh, really?
But my wife does it for me for like various like household things.
You're saying your secretary
my
signs
wife is
your
not
checks?
my secretary.
That was not even what I was saying. I was just trying to make a riff back on your
right. I've never written a check for my wife though, like freaking Leo Fender over here.
Baller.
I just transfer it over the digital interwebs with that digital money that doesn't actually exist.
Maybe this is actually his wife's handwriting.
I don't actually have to transfer it because we just have joint accounts and we can transfer it ourselves.
Maybe his wife wrote this check for herself.
Maybe. That's not her signature at all.
I feel like this sounds like wife bashing, and it's really not.
I don't know. Look at the way his signature doesn't look Fender-ish. Well, I guess the back end of it does. The F doesn't quite look right.
Do you think the Fender logo is supposed to be Leo Fender's signature? Come on.
Look at the way he wrote Esther, and there's something Fender-ish about that. Like, that's his handwriting, man. No, the Fender logo is like supposed to be his signature.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a dressed up version of it. But I think that's how he writes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the 7 style F
Yeah.
is not a handwritten thing, but I think the rest of it is his handwriting or something close to it.
Right.
I mean, look at the D. It's got the D. The E though, like no one writes an E like the E in the Fender logo.
But the E in the Fender logo does kind of look like
the
E
uppercase E in
Esther.
Esther. Yeah. I mean, we cracked the code here.
Dude.
This is really his signature.
If you buy this check, you can build your own font based off of Leo Fender's handwriting. No one else has done that.
No one's done that. Well, cool ad. We really nailed this one.
Ryan, why don't you tell us about our next sponsor?
Well, you see, Steve, this episode was brought to you by the fine folks over at Chase Bliss Audio.
What?
Makers of pedals that are just going to explode your skull and splatter your brains all over the walls, like the blooper.
That doesn't sound comfortable.
It doesn't have to be comfortable to be radical. Also, pedals like the Automatone, the Mark II preamp.
Yeah, and the CXM 1978.
Yeah, which is a super crazy reverb.
Yep.
With both those pedals have mechanical sliders.
You know
They
what?
will move all over the place and dazzle your fans and your friends on stage as you press the preset button and your knobs move by magic.
When I was at no, never mind. I'm not going to share that.
Yeah, don't share that. This is a bad story.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, honestly. I don't know why you'd even think to bring that up.
I know, right?
Yeah, you had to change your pants after that.
Yikes.
Wild story. You guys have really got to come to NAMM sometime. It is a buck wild. So yeah, go check out Chase Bliss Audio. They've been supporting the show for quite a while now. I gave Joel a great big old hug at NAMM. He gave me a hug. He said that he cares about me. I said that I care about him. We looked in each other's eyes and we didn't have to say anything more because we knew.
Wow.
We knew what was unsaid.
Cool.
Yeah. So Chase Bliss Audio, they make pedals more creative than you are. If there's any reason to go buy a Chase Bliss pedal, it's because they support this program.
Also because they're freaking awesome.
They're freaking awesome, man. Chase Bliss pedals are awesome. They're going to change your life.
I feel like when you say it like that, you make it sound like, go buy a pedal from these guys.
Guys, just...
Like, they're dumb enough to support us, so you should just throw some money their way.
You're going to buy a pedal anyways. Let's be honest.
It's true.
You're going to buy a pedal sometime soon. Might as well make it a Chase Bliss pedal while you're at it.
All right, this topic was sent by Andrew Walsh. He says, I want to add a bit of shine to my satin finish. Can you try different methods on one of your guitars and show us what works best?
No. We were trying to figure out if I actually have a proper satin guitar.
I don't think you do.
I don't have one that was manufactured to be technically satin. I have ones that are like matte finish.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not in here. The Cower might be the closest thing you have to a true satin.
No, that's kind of more matte finish because it doesn't have a clear coat over it.
That's true.
I think you have to have a clear coat for it to be a satin finish.
Yeah, so you have a lot of matte finish, or I would say even like non-coated
right
finishes.
Here's what I worry about. Most like satin finishes that I've encountered are super thin, like hyper thin. Like that's how they're satin because they never sprayed it thick enough for it to gloss.
Right.
If you try to polish that, because you can polish anything with like rubbing compound and,
Yeah.
and whatever, and a big polisher, or even just a cloth, and you sit there and polish it out. On something that's super thin, like a satin finish on a neck or something like that, you can just completely polish it away because a polish is technically like a sandpaper.
Yeah.
It's an abrasive. So I would be really worried to try that most of the time. If you can tell that the finish is thick enough to take an abrasive for a while, I can't see any reason why you couldn't polish a matte or satin finish to a gloss. It's probably made out of some sort of urethane or some sort of lacquer that can be polished to a gloss.
I would say if you're going to do it, like I would probably start with, I mean, I don't even know if you'd want to use polishing compound. Maybe, but if you're going to do it like...
Just let a cat lick it and it'll polish it right up. Just got that scratchy tongue.
I was going to say, like, if you use a little bit of polishing compound and like a cloth, like a terry cloth or like a polishing cloth, ideally.
Or a jerry cloth.
Or a berry cloth.
Yeah.
Or a Gary cloth.
A Gary cloth. Gary cloths are good.
Mary cloth?
Why is it called a terry cloth?
I don't know.
Why is Terry so lucky that he gets cloth named after him?
I was going to say, like, I would start, like, right around here.
Yeah, where you're like, already going to have... That's really smart.
Somewhere pretty inconspicuous or, like, on the back, like...
Well, the reason it's smart around the strap buttons is because you already have something slightly abrasive, your strap, that's rubbing there all the time. So even if it doesn't work, you'll be like, oh, that's just where the strap rubbed it.
Right.
That's smart, Steve.
Do it somewhere inconspicuous before you like go at it on the whole body. You might even just be able to use like, though again, like who even has access to this? Like it might be enough to use like a buffing wheel without any compound.
I have a buffing wheel.
You have a buffing wheel?
Well, it's a handheld one, but the buffer on it is like this big.
Oh wow!
I used it for surfboards.
Oh, cool.
They're not inexpensive. Go to
no, they're not.
Go to Harbor Freight, get yourself a buffer.
I'm just like don't know who has one of those.
And buffing compound isn't expensive either.
No, it's not.
You just get the swirl remover or whatever from the auto parts store. Yeah. That'll work.
So there's definitely ways to do it. I would go with some kind of method like that if you want to mess around with it. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to get crazy with it. Just use like the backside of. Just use like the rough side of a sponge.
I have more experience buffing things than people might realize. No, I wouldn't use the rough side of like a Brillo sponge where it's like the yellow and the green.
Mm-hmm.
I would use the soft side and buy the buffing compound.
Oh, okay.
And you could do it by hand. It would take you quite a while, but you can certainly do it. Because the buffing compound is like a fine grit, like paste.
Right.
Where the scratchy side of a Brillo pad, that's gonna leave marks.
Gotcha.
You could use a paper towel with the buffing compound. You're just moving that compound around.
Right.
Because an actual buffing wheel is like a big piece of like wool.
Yeah.
Like it's not abrasive itself. It just holds the compound into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why do I know so much about buffing, guys?
You're so buff.
I'm so buff. I'm always just getting buff and talking about getting buffed over here.
All right. This is a part of the show where we do some housekeeping.
Because I'm so strong, you see.
You ready to do some housekeeping, right?
Yeah, let's keep this house.
This week, we actually have no housekeeping updates, but housekeeping is a time of the show where if you would like to learn more about how to support the show, you can head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast and
find us and give us money.
Yeah.
2020, give us money.
There you go. Whether it's $1, $5, $2, $7, $60, everything is appreciated. So
yeah, absolutely. If there was a way to give us a penny, I would be like, have at it. Give us a penny.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
12 cents a month. If every single person who listened gave us 12 cents a month, that would actually be pretty decent walking around money. I'm just saying we have a lot of people listening to the show. I'm not trying to brag. It's just the reality of it. We don't get to, I've been thinking about this. We don't get to pretend like we're small potatoes anymore. We haven't been for a while, but sometimes I still feel that way. We're a real show over here, Steve.
We are a real show.
We're a real presence in the gear community, which is weird.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to get the end of the show put
together.
We
still haven't one more ad to
I know
cover.
We do.
Yeah, Steve's downloading the song.
This last ad was sent by Jason Anderson. I called it Vintage Y. It's a 1958 Fender Stratocaster guitar and 1964 Fender amp. Basically, this guy... this guitar's only had 2 owners. This guy's cousin bought it from the original owner in 1966. Original parts, everything's original, includes the trem bar. Always stored. Like, this is the definition of like a closet classic.
Well, the body, this thing has been played. It's been worn.
It's been played, but it's not like relic.
No.
It's like,
this doesn't look like, it looks like it's all original.
This is like, maybe they played it every once in a while, and then one time their kid hit it with a Tonka truck.
It looks like it's seen some stage time to me. It's got some dings and little things on the body,
This also comes with a 1964 Fender Deluxe amp.
This guitar has rust on the bridge saddles and it has crust on the knobs. This has been
All
played.
right.
This
All
has
right.
been played. You can tell that this guy wants 30,000 for it, by the way, which might be fair. I don't know, but you can tell that the seller really knows a lot and is really educated on this guitar, its features, its value, its history, because he's got that tremolo bar, that whammy bar, right up in the output jack, just sticking right in there where it belongs. Especially if you're, familiar with like Rock Band controllers, like. That's really what he's going for
that
here.
is where it is. Is that where it is on the Rock Band controller? It might be.
It is. It like sticks out of the body in a weird place. We've seen this thing. We've seen people do this before, not know where the bar is supposed to go, and so they stick it into the output jack.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's just such a rough.
I mean, it doesn't damage anything. It doesn't ruin the value of this. It's just a funny thing to see in an ad for a guitar that is $30,000. Where are they? What site are they selling this on? Is this
KSL?
On oh, okay, that's why I don't recognize it.
The cheapest 1958 Stratocaster on Reverb is like, there's actually a black one for $12,000 or $11,500, but most of them are over $20,000. And I didn't put it in all the pictures, or you can see it in the first picture. This one comes with the strap. It comes with like all the case candy, like the original case candy. That amp comes with the amp cover that I think is also original.
Yeah.
I didn't include those pictures because I just included the one funny picture.
I mean, that amp does look cherry. I mean, getting the period correct matching amp.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 grand might be correct.
Yeah.
I couldn't say this isn't correct.
Now that I'm seeing like these guitars in the mid $20,000 range, I could see this with that amp.
Yeah.
Definitely at least asking 30. I don't know if you can get it, but at least asking.
And if this, the fact that this guitar was played, we can see signs of play on it. That means that it was good enough to play, right? It means it's probably a player's guitar.
Yep.
The fact that it like got stuck in a closet somewhere just means that the person who was playing it no longer played it anymore. Not that it wasn't playable.
Do you think it was played mostly from 1958 to 66 and then the cousin bought it and stored it in a closet?
Yeah, I think so.
Or that the cousin bought it in 66 and played it for a bit and then you think about
what you're wondering is if this was devalued by some rough cousin handling.
I'm just saying, like, was it the first owner or the second owner? Because the seller says it's mostly been stored in a closet, but you think about any of my.
I think it's original ownerware because if the cousin sounds like he had it a long time or she had it a long time.
Well, my thought is like maybe it could even be second owner wear, and they're like, well, yeah, it's mostly been in my closet since I had that bad trip at Woodstock, but they played it like super hard. You know what I mean? Like
if this had been played by the cousin, then it would have had to have survived being played by a cousin, a freaking cousin. People, let's think about your cousins. What that's like. A cousin. It doesn't matter if you're a cousin, but think about your cousins playing your guitars. No, thank you. It's like, it would have survived cousin play through the 70s, through the 80s, where modifications would have happened, through the 90s.
Well, I'm saying it's probably been in a closet since the 70s.
Right, but I'm saying that if the cousin was a player, then it would have been played by the cousin.
Oh, okay.
This was not played by the cousin. It was played by the original owner. The cousin just held on to it like a good cousin.
Maybe
should.
the cousin got it and was like, "I want to learn guitar. I'm going to buy this," and then they never did.
Yeah, or they're like, "Oh, just let's keep it in the family, or just leave that here. Don't worry about it." And then the original owner was like, "I'm never visiting my cousin again. I will never go back for that guitar because I don't want to see my cousin ever again because of family drama, because of the thing they said about their aunt, who is my mom."
How dare you, cousin?
Freaking cousins, man.
You ready for this?
I love my cousins. Do you love your cousins?
Yeah, my cousins are all right.
I said I love my cousins. Steve says his are just all right.
I'm very non-committal in relationships.
Dude, they're family. That's maximum commitment. You need to decide whether or not you love your cousins.
I love my cousins, Ryan.
Okay, good.
They're good. They're good people. Also, they have some guitars that I want.
Whoa. I don't think my cousins have guitars that I want. Although some of my cousins are friends with what's his name over at Taylor.
Oh, dang.
That guy. I forget his name.
Robert Taylor?
No, not Robert Taylor. The guy, the hot kid who came in to fix to make all like the custom shop super high end stuff. What's that guy's name?
I know what you're
You know who I'm talking about.
But I don't remember his
Shoot,
name.
I hate that I can't remember his name right now.
Whatever.
They're friends with him.
This song was
That's
sent
my cousins.
This
No big
song
deal.
was sent in by Mick G, who I think is Bruce Banana or Fred Kumquat or whatever. It's called Generation Resolution.
He recorded this?
I think.
That's implied. Okay, I can't wait to hear it. We got a jam on our hands. think it's over yet. It's still got some time on it. Where's it going to take us? this over. It just sounds like a flanger going back and forth in the stereo a little bit. I liked it.
Yeah, that was fun.
I really like you've got this groove going on, you've got this jam happening, and then just he pulls the rug out from underneath you with this like just glitched out dissonant thing. And I really liked it every time that he did that. Like, it's surprising. That was entertainment for me. I think musicians like that sort of thing when it's like it takes you places you weren't expecting and surprises you in certain ways. That's a musical equivalent to like a jump scare, you know?
Yeah. Actually, I started to reach over and I'm like, this is recorded really quiet. And right when I was about to push the volume up was when like the full band kicked in.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, hello.
It's kind of one of those things like if you go to like a jazz show and the bassist does like he plays a certain thing and everyone laughs, like that's the sort of thing that was going on in this. It's like those were musical little jokes. No, they're not. It's not joke music, but it's like when the unexpected things happen, like it filled me with joy and made me want to laugh in a happy way because I was surprised in a happy way.
Yeah.
It was like suspense, figuring out when they were going to come again. Anyways, cool track.
Yep.
Bye, everyone. Stay grounded.
See ya.